All right, today we're going to dive into something really powerful, a framework for guiding what we call mistaken behavior in kids. And I'm telling you, this approach, it might just flip the script on how you see every single interaction.
So let's just jump right in with a huge question, one that's really at the core of all of this. What if? What if we've been looking at bad behavior completely wrong this whole time? I mean, think about it, those tough moments, the tantrums, the grabbing, the flat-out defiance. What if they aren't what we think they are?
And that very question leads us right here. We are moving beyond just slapping a label like bad behavior on things. Instead, we're going to find a much more constructive and, well, empathetic way to figure out what's actually going on.
Okay, and here it is. This is the big shift in thinking. When a kid acts out, it's not some kind of moral failure. It's not a sign that they're a bad kid. More often than not, it's just a really clumsy, unskilled attempt to communicate something. A need, a feeling, something they just don't have the words for yet. You see, it's a communication gap. And we, as the adults, we're the ones who can help build that bridge.
But building that bridge, it requires a huge shift in our own mindset. It's like we need to put on a whole new pair of glasses to see our role in their development.
And this right here, this single sentence, is the absolute bedrock of this entire philosophy. Every child receives unconditional positive regard. Think about what that means. It means a child's worth is never on the table. It doesn't matter what they do, and that's the foundation of safety they need for any real learning to happen.
Which brings us to this core idea, mistaken behavior. The idea is simple. An unwanted action isn't some big crime, it's just a learning error. It's like a typo. And once you see it that way, it totally reframes how you respond. You shift from punishment to teaching.
Yeah, and this just nails the point home, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. If a kid writes the letter B backwards, you don't punish them, right? Of course not. You gently take their hand and you show them the right way. This is about applying that exact same logic to behavior. The goal is never punishment. It's always teaching.
Okay, so that's the big idea, the theory. It sounds great, right? But how does it actually work? What does this look like in the real world, day to day? Let's get into the practical side of things. So let's look at the two paths. On one side, you've got the classic reactive approach, right? Yelling, angry demands, basically just trying to make the behavior stop in that moment. But on the other side, you've got positive guidance. This is where you anticipate problems, you redirect, you model the right way to do things, and you actually teach a better solution for the next time it happens. Totally different vibe. And of course, this isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. The strategy has to match where the child is at developmentally. So for a toddler who hits, the response needs to be super immediate and physical. You gently stop their hand, you say a firm no, and then you immediately show them what gentle touches feel like. But for preschoolers, well, you can start to bring them into the conversation a lot more.
Yeah, and for those older kids, this three-step method is just golden. Step 1, everybody cools down. Seriously, nothing good happens when emotions are running hot. Step 2, you talk about the feelings. You actually name them. Wow, I could see you were so angry when you took your toy. And then step 3, you problem solve together. Okay, so what could we try next time that happens?
Now, I want to be really clear. This is not just about putting out fires. The real magic of this whole approach is how proactive it is. It's all about building the social and emotional skills that kids need to actually succeed in life.
See, we're really playing the long game here. When you guide a kid through a fight with a friend, or you help them find the words for a big feeling, you're not just stopping a tantrum. You are literally building the foundation for their emotional intelligence, something that's going to serve them for their entire life.
And this whole philosophy, it gets woven into the fabric of every single day through these small, consistent actions. We're talking about things like greeting each kid one-on-one to make that connection, actively encouraging them to use their words when they have big feelings, turning those little squabbles into moments where they learn how to solve problems. It's about encouraging them to play together and teaching them actual tools for when they get frustrated. It's all these little daily things that add up to build those huge emotional skills over time.
Okay, now it's super important to understand something. This positive, gentle approach does not mean it's a free-for-all. It's not about having no rules. In fact, for any of this to work, there have to be some incredibly serious, non-negotiable boundaries. Because look, to create that environment of unconditional positive regard, you have to have absolute physical and emotional safety, period. And that safety is built on a promise.
It's a set of unbreakable rules about things that will never, ever happen to a child.
So let's be crystal clear about this. Basic needs like food or water are never, ever used as leverage. There is zero corporal punishment. None. And any tactic that is designed to humiliate or shame or belittle a child is completely off the table. These are the hard lines in the sand.
And it's not just about those disciplinary tactics. There are specific behaviors from adults that are so damaging to this whole model of trust and safety that they just can't be tolerated.
First up, angry demands or yelling. All that does is create fear, not learning. Plus, it models the exact kind of out-of-control emotion we're trying to help them manage.
Next, harsh, unkind language or profanity. The words we choose matter a lot, and they always have to be respectful.
And finally, physical force, grabbing, pushing, restraining a child. Unless it is for their immediate, absolute safety, it is a total violation of their trust.
So, how many warnings does an adult get for crossing these lines? The number is simple. 0. No warnings.
The consequence is absolute. The commitment to a child's safety, emotional and physical, is so important that breaking these rules means immediate termination. It is that serious.
And that really brings us to a final thought here. As we've been talking about this whole framework, unconditional positive regard, seeing mistakes as just chances to learn, it kind of makes you wonder, right? What if we took this idea and applied it everywhere? How would it change how we interact with our partners, our coworkers, heck, even with ourselves? Something powerful to think about, for sure.